Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Marvel Rivals character guide, and today we have the new strategist Ultron. Ultron is a 2-star difficulty, and it says here, the pinnacle of artificial life forms, Ultron is programmed to learn and adapt in ways far beyond human capability. He can summon an army of automated drones that obey his every command, rising his chances of victory exponentially. So let's take a look at his abilities. Ultron has 250 health, and like we said before, he's a strategist who can fly. So his basic normal attack is just a energy beam ray, and it does a lot of damage, especially if you hit the final shot, or the final burst, sorry. His ultimate is Rage of Ultron, which basically just deals damage to the allies or heals your deals damage to the opponents or heals your allies, summoning the Ultron bots, of course. He also has an accelerated flight mode where he just becomes faster, kind of like Human Torches, but I think a little bit less good. He has imperative patch, which allows him to put a little drone on an ally, and it will heal anybody in that ally's area. But unfortunately, that's his only healing ability besides the Imperative Firewall, which doesn't really heal, just gives bonus health. And it's the people in the range of Ultron, so just so you guys know that. He does have a team-up ability, which we'll get into later. Here's what it looks like. We'll explain it more in a bit. Here's the suggested combo. Notice how he had to pop the ult just to keep Groot alive. So he's not a great healer, but we'll talk about him a little bit later. Now let's take a look at his team up. So the team up is called Stark Protocol, and it says here, good news Ultron, I've upgraded your ray into nano rays. Cuts right through enemies, but now it heals up allies along the way. Who survives is not my concern, Stark. Stop trying to add your human sentimentality to my programming. It's called tactical flexibility, buddy. Unlike you, one command, ride it till the end. That's called precision, the product of evolution. You would think a self-proclaimed genius like you would recognize that. What I recognize is you still trying to hack into my armor, but that's not going to happen. Stark Tech is way more secure than anything Hank Pym ever designed. I'm just built better, and thanks to me, now so are you. I will admit, since the introduction of your code into my system, I have been able to make some unexpected improvements. Is this your way of saying thanks? I'm flattered. Don't mistake analysis for gratitude, Stark. When this alliance is over, I'll erase any trace of your work from my drives, and then I'll erase any trace of you from existence. If talking tough makes you feel better, I can handle it, Ultron. Just remember, right now we're on the same side, until you're no longer useful. So here's what his team up looks like for Ultron. Like we showed before, it basically replaces his basic attack and lets you heal allies. So Ultron's very useful if you have that team up, but without it, I'm not sure. With that being said, let's hop into the practice range and show you guys some tips. Okay, what's up guys? Here we are in the practice range, and here we are 30 meters away from the opponent. First thing I want to show you is your damage has fall off, but it's not all that much. Here, we'll shoot this one to show you guys the difference. So, yeah, that was at about 15 meters, I believe, and 30 meters, it still does good damage. So, you don't really have to play up close, nor do you really want to. But, the main goal, I'd say, is you gotta figure out how to track the opponent, because that last burst does the most damage of all, you see. So, tracking is definitely gonna be a thing you have to work on with Ultron. And we'll go over here to the healers, or the people that we can heal, and show you guys why he's a little bit weak, but you'll also get a better understanding. So I put the drone on them, And that's barely enough to out-heal the damage that these practice drone bots are putting out. So, in a real game, it's definitely going to be even more difficult, which is why I said you're probably going to want Iron Man on your team, or maybe even a third healer, because the Iron Man team up is like 30 seconds, the cooldown of it. So, I'd say you probably want an Iron Man on your team. For the tips I'll give you guys is, you see how he shoots? That was a bad example. Watch this. So he shoots. He has to kind of reload in between shots. You can see at the bottom he has 6 shots before he has to really reload like this. But I think it's kind of faster. Or at least I like it better doing this. You don't have to really reload all the way. So just look. You can kind of like animation cancel it. Here, we'll go down to like 3. Okay, reload. And the animation did have to go all the way through. So that's a tip I'll give you to shoot faster. Another thing is going to be, let's go back up here. I'm sorry about this. But you're going to want to put your drone down before you use your firewall. And you're going to want to be close to the people. Because then all 3 of you get the bonus health and the healing. So that's definitely the strength for him. He's going to be good in triple healing comps and comps with Iron Man and a lot of flyers. But if you don't have anybody looking out for you, then you're probably going to be in trouble. So weaknesses are going to be people who take down flyers, of course, like Hawkeye, Hela, Punisher. And then even flyers themselves are going to be weaknesses to you because nobody's going to be able to heal you up there. And you don't really have a self-heal button. You have a overshield button, but it's not a lot. What is that, 75? So you're going to definitely want to be careful. I recommend playing far. You want to play a mixture of far back and then down low, I'd say. And then sometimes if the opportunity calls for it, then of course play further away because you do a lot of damage from far still. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments what you think about Ultron because it's pretty divisive right now and the community is pretty split on it. So yeah, let me know your opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching and peace out.